when it comes to taking every thought into captivity, is there a department, let's say like a police department in our mind, in our being? Is it, I guess first, is it a thought that takes into captivity those thoughts that are negative or dark or below? Is it like an above thought that actually surrounds that negative thought and basically locks it up? And so how does that occur? Is there an easy answer for that?
How well do you know neuroscience? No, I'm kidding. All right, so, all right, look, the process works like this, the best I can explain, all right? It all begins with, when he opened your eyes and ears, he also created a new field of awareness. You're now aware of things you were not aware of before. And part of that awareness is to recognize that, A, you actually have choice. You have choice in every moment, what to do with every thought, what to do with every experience, how to respond to every stimuli. You actually have choice. The other thing that you should work towards, which is hard because even though it's true, but we have to actually work towards it, is to recognize that you do have full ownership and authority of those choices. This goes back kind of to what Philip was asking about predestination, okay? And so, as far as the mechanism, once you recognize that you have an awareness, literally a neutral awareness, you're just aware of everything. But you respond to that awareness of everything so quickly, you don't even realize you had a choice. Because I see somebody walking over there. I'm aware of them. Then I now have a choice. Is it something I need to look at? Is it something that's important? See, now that awareness stimulates questions. Problem is that we've shortened the time so much between an awareness of something and a response to it that we've lost that gap. And that's the critical space where all of this, what you're talking about, happens. So a stimuli happens. You see a beautiful woman. You see somebody running in your direction. You see a car heading towards your car, whatever. You're aware of something. Now you got to decide what to do with it. But first you got to realize you have an option to decide what to do with it. Once you realize you have that option, you can take the thought, ooh, pretty woman. And then you can have another thought saying, because now that you're aware of pretty woman, the brain can say, now I have the choice what I do with thought, observation, pretty woman. Second thought, married man, observation, pretty woman, irrelevant. Okay? Noted, and move on. I have that choice. Or, ooh, I'm going to stay over this way for a while. But first you have to have an awareness that all you're doing is observing or experiencing a stimuli. Something is happening that you're aware of. And now you have choice. This will stop every overreact, every angry outburst, every hurt feeling. If you could do this, you would never be upset again. Because really, you could choose not to be. All that beep, boop, 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 beep wouldn't have any effect on you. Because someone could push a button and all you're aware of, wow, somebody just pushed my button. I now can choose whatever I want to do with that. But because it's a triggered response, that choice, that observation, the choice of what to do with the observation has been skipped. It's on autopilot. It's an auto response. And so what do we need to do? I talked about being hyper-vigilantly aware, a hyper-vigilant awareness. So be aware of everything, but also be aware that in everything, if you slow everything down just a little bit, you can make a choice of what to do with what you observe, what that awareness has brought to you. Okay? All right? I could be talking to Greg, and we're sitting in my living room, and I could be completely immersed in that conversation and not aware of my wife coming in with her arms full of packages, forgetting that she told me she went to the store and would be coming back with a bunch of stuff. Or I could be hyper aware that I know she's coming, I'm still giving him my attention, we're talking, and that as soon as my awareness realizes over here that she's coming through, I can then go ahead and decide to say, excuse me, Greg, let me go help her first. Or I could be so zoned in here, not being aware, or choosing to just continue here because that, for whatever reason, does not stimulate an appropriate response in my brain, then she now is going to have to make a choice whether or not she's going to get offended because I didn't get up and help her. You see? Well, didn't you see me coming in? And I have to think, yes, I guess I did. In my peripheral vision, I saw you. And I either ignored it, okay, or didn't, because we have way too much bang, 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 everything's thought, action, response, without thought, option, response. Thought, considering an option, response. And really, you could do that in every moment. Somebody thinking, no, I can't. Well, not the way we've been doing it forever. But up to this point, you didn't even know that you had this little process that you could interrupt. Interrupt the pattern of your behavior. How do you do this? I can give you an exercise to practice it. Okay? So what you can do is, first of all, try to at all times think of yourself as actually doing whatever you're doing and also watching yourself do it. It's weird, it's kind of weird, and it'll be really weird, especially at the beginning, but you can kind of be almost like an out-of-body thing. I'm not talking literally, but you're kind of aware of what your reaction is to everything around you. And really practice saying, okay, am I reacting or am I choosing to act? Am I choosing a response? Am I reacting or am I choosing a response? Okay? Slow down everything. Very easy for me to say. I move at lightning speed. This is a hard thing for me. Okay? But those triggered responses, we need to interrupt. So how can you do this? So this is a visualization thing. Think of a situation that you tend to get triggered and you don't ever feel like you ever had a choice, you just react. Play that scenario out in your mind, but in your mind, when the thing happens, the thing you become aware of that triggers you, in your mind now see yourself pausing and recognizing. You remember like in the movies like with RoboCop and these other ones where options pop up on the screen? Okay, there's somebody doing a crime. Okay, do I disarm them? Do I pursue them? Right? All those little digital options pop up on the screen. Picture for yourself, did you have that moment to go, okay, what is the appropriate, I'm pausing now to ask myself, what's the appropriate response? Do I react the way I normally react? And then practice in your mind that pause. And then guess what? At some point, if you practice enough, you'll actually do it. The situation will pop up and you'll stop and you'll recognize that you can react differently or respond differently. A response different than a reaction. Did that help anybody? All right? I hope that got recorded because I've never said any of that before and I liked it. It was good. I want to go back and listen to that because that's really, I think, if we could get that, we would not fight like we fight. Most marriages would be completely fixed because we just don't pause to choose. Because we don't even realize we have a choice because it happens so quick that all of that stuff, all of you guys are so viciously independent. I hate to break your bubble, but you are controlled. Oh, not me. Nobody controls me. All your emotional garbage does. All your triggered responses are controlling you. Because if you weren't controlled, you could choose to respond any way you want. You could laugh when the person normally would make you want to yell. You could just be quiet in a peaceful, calm state in a time when you normally be greatly agitated. You could choose anything. You could do whatever you wanted. I mean, it's just like, it should be as simple as there's food in front of you, and you've got a knife and a fork and a spoon, and you look and you choose the fork and you go to eat. Well, maybe you choose a spoon instead. Maybe you choose the knife just to show you have choice. And the person says, why are you eating that cereal with a knife? Because I can. I had a choice. I thought I'd try something different. Practice change. Drive to work a different way every day that you can. Think of all kinds. I don't care if it's longer or short. It doesn't matter. Just realize and recognize at every moment you could choose to do something differently than you always have. Free your mind, Neo.